Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rainy Day Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian. And today, man, we talking about Miami Dolphins, the road to kickoff. Gonna kick it off right in Indy in a couple weeks. Still got one more preseason game, but we're gonna talk about it all. Off season, going into training camp to this preseason, these joint practices. And I have a very special guest, man. I'm honored to have this man on. Love his stuff. From FTSN. He has his own show on there, Real Talk, Fins Talk, and also a fitness show. But we're gonna welcome in the great Steve Molloy. How we doing, Steve?
Oh my God, what an entry, man. Jeez, I wasn't
For the
expecting
promo.
that. Yeah, appreciate that, brother. I'm doing great, man. How about you, Adrian? How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty well, man. Pretty well. Excited about this preseason game that's about to happen on Saturday. And yeah, Dolphins rolling today. Heard the defense was great.
Mhm.
We're gonna get all into it, man. But at first, I want to just go back a little bit, get a little backstory on you. I
Mhm.
know just from your Twitter profile, this is our first time speaking. Uh, we did not plan this orange shirt thing. We did not plan this at all.
No, we
But
didn't.
but yeah, man. I know you are a U.S. Army vet.
Correct. That's correct.
And been a Dolphin fan since 1969. All right, man.
Correct.
So you've been through everything that the Dolphins have to offer, man. Super Bowls, and then of course this drought of playoff wins that we're on. Just tell me a little bit about like your fan experience since you've been a fan of the Dolphins and about yourself a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've been a fan since like you just mentioned, 1969. I lived down there in Miami, and so I was born and bred down there. Yeah, when I was at all those games in the Orange Bowl in the early '70s and stuff, and the Super Bowl run that we had. Yeah, just it was exciting times, man. Plus back then, you were able to really get up close and personal with the players, especially when they were arriving in from the airport and stuff, from away games and things of that nature. You were able to go right up to these guys, shake their hands, talk to them, whatever. It was great. And where I lived in the Hialeah, Miami Springs area down there in South Florida, and so there, you had Mad Dog lived in the Miami Springs area, had a construction company down there. I got to play basketball with him many times at the Miami Springs gymnasium. Some of the old timers, Marlon Briscoe and Stan Mitchell, probably some guys that the younger generation doesn't even know the names of.
Throwback.
But yeah, yeah, way it goes way back. Met guys like Mercury Morris, Larry Zonka, met Larry Little, met them all. All those 1970s guys. I met a lot of them anyway. But yeah, it was good times. So I want them good times again. I want them good times again. I've seen what good coaching is all about. I remember when how it all started is my stepdad. Now I was kind of vaguely familiar with the Dolphins. I went to a couple games and everything, but my stepdad, he came in one day and he said, "Man," he says, "I'm going to start following these Miami Dolphins." He said, "They just hired a guy. His name is Don Shula, and he's coordinated a great coaching staff, and everything. And sure enough, he was spot on. And he immediately bought season tickets, and yeah, we went to every game and all that, and so yeah, it's I just wish we had those times again. I mean, for the younger generation that doesn't know what a winning football team looks like, the attitude, the coaching, all that stuff, the discipline, holding players accountable, and all that kind of stuff. A lot of that is lacking in this organization to to the present day, anyway. And but yeah, and then, I was like you said, I'm an Army vet. Spent almost 20 years in the military. Um,
You for your service.
Thank you. You're welcome. Did 2 tours in Iraq. Married for over 40 years now, 42 years. I got 4 grandsons and 1 brand new granddaughter was born in April. So, I'm just
Congrats, man.
so blessed to have those grandkids. And
For
I'm
sure,
living in
man.
in the Houston, Texas area now. So I moved out of Florida. The military took me out of Florida, and so I decided just end up here in the Houston, Texas area.
Great state of Texas.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man. All right, man. Well, you are very like opinionated on the Dolphins. You say what you mean and you mean what you say. Some people come for you. I've seen that on Twitter. Did that ever bother you at all? Or you just
Nah,
like to just explain yourself and just get it, get it out there?
nah, it don't bother me a bit, man. What really bothers me is you can call me anything you want, just don't call me late for dinner. That's it. you know, I'm one of those kind of guys. I've been a correctional officer, so I've heard every name called in the book. I've been called every name in the book. Military, same thing. So it's a game. It's just a game. At the end of the day, it's just
Yeah,
a football game, and people want to get nasty or whatnot. I just it doesn't really phase me at all, man. I try to be respectful with everybody, and I appreciate all opinions, and that's what makes us different, or we all
yeah,
have our own opinions and things, and again, bottom line, it's just a game.
yeah. I love hearing other people's opinions, man. Even if I don't agree with it, it's just like
Yeah.
I want to see how you got there. How did you get to that opinion? What's your way of thinking that got you there, man? Because like you said, we all different, man. You got to respect everybody's opinion. But yeah, the name calling and all that, man. Some people just live and die with the Dolphins. They don't know how to be civil. That's all it is. But
Right.
the good fans are here. Bobby, Finn, Sammy. There's plenty more. Ian, there's Lisa. There's so many Dolphin fans that are like some of the best people you ever meet. And then you got those Twitter finger trolls that just like to go and just be negative about everything, man, just to get some attention. I feel like
Yeah.
so. Let them have it. Let them have it. That's all.
Absolutely.
But yeah, let's go back to the offseason. How do you think this offseason went for Chris Greer? He's, obviously he's been under a lot of scrutiny. The fire Greer hashtag was going crazy. And I just want to hear your opinion. Like, how do you think this offseason went compared to previous ones?
I was actually I'm not a big fan of Chris Greer. Let me put that out front right away. I'm not a big fan of his. I don't I would love to see him gone from this organization. He's been here too long, 25 years. We haven't had a playoff run. He's been in charge since 2016. He's completely screwed up this organization as far as constructing of the roster and things of that nature. Yeah, he's made some good moves here and there, but a blind squirrel can find a nut every once in a while, right? And then some of the moves he made are obvious. Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb, Taron Armstead. Who has we developed? Really, who has he drafted that we've developed that's still on the roster? You can't name very many, right? But as far as this, I got to give him kudos for this offseason. I do. You know, I like the picks. I like a lot of the picks that that the Dolphins have gotten on the roster right now. I like the Kenneth Grant pick. I like it's turning out that Jordan Phillips, he might be a sleeper. He might turn out to be if anything, a good rotational defensive tackle for us, or maybe even a starter.
Yeah,
Eventually, I think he's doing a lot better than Kenneth Grant at this point. He's developing a lot quicker and playing better than Kenneth Grant is at this point in time. And Kenneth Grant was our first round draft pick.
yeah,
But I still like the pick. I still think Kenneth Grant has a lot of potential, and he can develop into a very solid defensive tackle for us. Um, but I like the draft. I like the Ewers pick. We need a good, solid backup quarterback. I think he's a step ahead of Zach Wilson right now to a degree, and at least operating this offense and commanding it. He comes from up here. He played here in Texas, and they run a similar offense, and he has similar traits as Tua. He's got the quick release. He processes a lot better than Zach Wilson for sure. We know what Zach Wilson is. We've seen him play with the Jets. We know what he's all about. But I like the Ewers pick. I like Ollie Gordon. We
Yes.
needed a big power back like Ollie Gordon, especially now that Achan is injured. Madison went down, and then now I hear Jalen Wright. He went out the joint
Yeah.
practices today. He's injured. We don't know what the how serious that injury is. So I think Ollie Gordon is going to have he's going to take a bulk of the load if Achan has any extended stay out you know. And that's a very serious injury. I know a lot of folks don't know that, but it's a very serious injury, a calf injury, especially for a
Yes.
speed back and a running back like Achan. And if he's not 100% and we rush him in there and play, he could get an Achilles injury, and then he's out for the whole year. So we need to. I'm hoping that the organization, is smart enough to say, hey, it's September. Let's let him sit out a couple games, make sure he's 100% before we bring him back. Thank God we got Ollie Gordon, right? And guess what? We're going to get to see him play. If Achan is out, we'll get to see him play. And I mean, they drafted Jalen Wright, right? They went up to get Jalen Wright, and we didn't see a lot of him last year at all. And
Yeah.
I think one of the main reasons is because of his lack of blocking, pass blocking, and he's kind of a one-cut guy, and I don't think he fits well in the zone scheme, to be honest with you. Um, but so that's the reason why I think he didn't get a lot of reps. And then this year he's had a terrible terrible training camp.
Training camp.
Hasn't
Hmm.
been good at all, and preseason hasn't been good. He's fumbled in joint practices and things. Uh, and he's hurt now. So,
Yeah.
and now we're down to Ollie Gordon and Alec Ingold and the other two guys that we
Boom.
brought in,
Yeah. The two new guys that
the two new guys.
we
But as far as Chris Greer goes, I do like the. I know I'm going on, but
they're good.
I do like the draft choices. I think um, I think bringing in Westbrook, hopefully he pans out. We need a good, wide receiver, a big wide receiver that can block. Um, because we got a lot of midgets out there right now. And there's another thing: Tyreek Hill's injured, right? So
Yeah.
we don't know when he's going to come back. I know Tua was mentioning today after the joint practices. He said, "Hey, it's kind of nice that he gets to throw the ball around to Malik and Taj and
Yeah.
D. Eskridge and all that stuff." But hey, bottom line is Tyreek is who people are scared of in this offense. When you play against other teams, the defenses are scared of Tyreek.
Yeah.
Okay, he makes this offense what it is. He will definitely be missed if he's not able to come in and play, the first 2 or 3 games of the season. Um, but yeah, that's what I got to say about the draft picks. I think he did a really good job, and he brought in James Daniels. We needed a guard. I think that's an upgrade from Robert Jones. Um,
Yes, sir.
Jonah Sevaniah, we'll get into him, but he's not developing. He's not developing, and he's got a lot of bad uh, technique issues. And I don't know if you listen to Ace Burhead. Curtis on Ace Burhead is a
Yes.
he.
Love
Yeah,
Curtis.
he's offensive line guru along with Craig Main from Finn's Talk Sports Network. He was a previous college coach, and he played offensive lineman in college. And they both agree that Savania's got some issues, and he's not developing uh, properly the way that he should. And it's not his fault; it's the coaching.
Mhm.
how could they miss these technical issues that he's having? They drafted this kid, you know, in the second round, and they didn't see these issues before they drafted him. He's got some issues. He's got footwork issues, and that's where it starts in the O line, right? Any sport is your footwork.
Yeah,
His
you're right.
footwork is terrible, and thank God he's athletic enough on some of the plays. If you watch the film, where he's able to make up for it with his strength and his
Mhm.
being an athlete that he is. He's very athletic. But other than that, that's going to be a problem, especially if he's playing against the first stringers for these teams we're going to be facing, good teams.
He will
You know,
be.
he can get away with those technical issues in college, but you're playing the big boys now, and it's going to be a problem if and I don't know. I don't know if it's a problem with him with adapting to the speed of the NFL, or it's just he's developed some bad technique habits. And if it's the speed, adapting to the speed of the game, maybe he's playing faster than he wants to, right? Maybe that's throwing him off, his technique off.
Need to settle
But
down.
yeah, maybe if he settles down, maybe he personally can fix it, right? But if he doesn't, and it lingers on, this could be a problem. And the problems that he's having as far as his technique is concerned and things, that's not going to be fixed overnight. That's something that's going to have to develop over time,
Develop, yeah.
and he's going to have to be critiqued about it, right? They're going to have to critique him about it, the coaches, and that's malpractice. Like my friend Greg Main from Finstock Sports Network said, he says it's malpractice. They shouldn't even have let him out on the field playing like that without correcting those issues.
Very true. I'm a big critic on the coaching because I feel like that has a lot to do with a lot of the issues also on the Dolphins. I mean, I know the roster ain't constructed right, but you can only go with what you have, and you got to make your players better. That's literally what coaching is, to make your put your players in a position to succeed. So I think the coaching has been lacking. Definitely, Mike, and then it just brings to a great point. Like, what's your opinion on Mike McDaniel? Because me personally, I'm like kind of out on him. I just think, but then I also give him some grace. This dude wasn't even a coordinator, and we brought him in, and he's pretty much learning on the job. So going into another year where it looks like he's trying to be more serious, but then you see in the preseason games some of the same issues that been plaguing us for the last couple years. What's your opinion on Mike McDaniel?
Well, as far as play design goes and being an offensive coordinator, I think he's good. I think he's
Yeah,
great. As far as a head coach, no. And the reason why I say that is I don't like him not. Now, look, I'm not a fly on the wall in the office in the facilities or anything, but to me, it doesn't look like he holds his players accountable. So I think he has issues with holding players accountable. He came in here. Look, he came in here as a buddy buddy with these players,
yeah,
right?
trying to be
Eh,
everybody's friend. Yeah,
Trying to be everybody's friend, and that doesn't go well when you try to be everybody's friend, and then you're going to try to change up and be the meanie, right? It doesn't work. Now, if you come in being the meanie and then you change up and relax a little bit, that can go okay. That'll go well. That's okay. But you can't come
you
in,
set the standard right away.
you're setting the standard right away. You got to be the asshole, excuse me. You got to be the
Yeah,
asshole right
you
away.
good.
You know,
You ever watch
you
the
got to
show?
yeah, you gotta be an asshole, right? And then, then you kind of ease up a little bit. But you come in being Mr. Nice Guy, and hey guys, you want some ice cream? Let's go out for some ice cream and stuff, and trying to be the buddy buddy. That doesn't work. That's the biggest issue I have with Mike McDaniel is not holding his players accountable and being the buddy buddy. and not setting the standards. Far as play calling goes, I think he's good. He's good at that. He's not a head coach, as you said. He wasn't even a coordinator in San Francisco. Offensive coordinator. He was a run game
Offensive,
coordinator,
yeah,
but he
offensive
wasn't an
coordinator.
offensive coordinator. Even though he held that title, Shanahan called the shots.
Yeah.
Um, and here's the thing, though. What I think the problem really lies. Okay, number one is coaching as far as developing the younger players. Okay. Terron Armstead doesn't have to be developed. Bradley
Exactly.
Chubb doesn't have to be developed. Those guys don't have to be developed. Those guys he brought in, right? But the rookies, the young guys, are the ones that have to be developed. But I don't think the coaching staff now they're starting to face the reality. Hey, we got to start developing these younger guys, right? And
No
the
choice now, too,
they have
because we
no
have such a
choice.
young team.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. You're spot on. But here's the thing. I don't really think it's the issue of the play calling like some folks see it or whatnot. Yeah, he's bad at the play clock management and all that kind of stuff. We got that, getting the plays in on time. That hurts a team, right? But it's the players that we presently had on the roster. They're just not talented enough. Some of them. You got some talent like in Tyreek and Waddle, maybe Achan, and a few here on sprinkled here and there.
You're talking
But
about depth.
depth and starters, they're just not. They just don't fit the scheme that he's running and are trying to run, and they're limited. E- Especially quarterback Tua Tagovailoa is holding him back. He's limited. He's limited in what he can do. Okay, I think a lot of folks are missing the point here. Everybody's talking about, oh, they had injuries. Oh, these guys are dropping the ball. Oh, we need an O line. Oh, we need a running back. Oh, we need a better defense. Whatever it is, right? They're making all these excuses when the real problem is the quarterback. You change the quarterback, you bring a quarterback that is mobile, that can stay healthy for 17 games, that can go off script, that can make the outside the numbers throws, that doesn't have to have a rocket arm, but a stronger arm than Tua does. And I guarantee you, this offense will run a lot better than what it has been in the past. That's
So
the
you
that's
out
the
on Tua.
missing link. That's
You
the
out on Tua?
missing link. Is that the X factor,
Okay.
and that's Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah. I mean, I like Tua. Don't get me wrong, but it's the injuries for me. Like we see what he could do, the stats. That's all good, but can you stay healthy? Because I will say this in the beginning of the season, because toward the end of the season, I don't see it at all. I don't see it when it's crunch time. Even the 17 games he did play, the season where he did play every game. Like toward the end of the season, you saw it, and then yeah, we got to say, hey, it's a team game, and all this is not just to it, but you don't see it from any of them. Like when it gets to crunch time, it's like they blew their load too early, and then when it was time to get ready for the playoffs, it's like, oh, we got nothing left, because that season was incredible for them offensively. It really was like some of the best numbers we ever seen, in the Dolphins. But yeah, man, he got to stay healthy, but I don't think he will. And I'm kind of like where we were with Tannehill going into year 6. Like,
Mhm.
all right, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and get this over with. But the
Yeah.
Dolphins always wait too long to get rid of somebody, or they'll get rid of somebody too early, and then they'll go to another team and ball out. So, I mean, it's pretty much the same stuff every year. But we try to be optimistic. Literally everybody that says anything about the Dolphins, whether it's good or it's bad, they all like if you're a fan, you just want to see the Dolphins win. So
Absolutely. 100%.
that's all it is, man. And a lot of people, what you just said about Tua and what I just said about Tua, people probably If they heard this, go crazy about it. But the two are lovers. The two are
2 in ears.
two and nine, whatever, two in ears, whatever you
Right,
want to call them. Yeah,
right.
man. But
Yeah.
um, it's
Now
like,
don't get
come
me
on, man.
wrong,
Don't you want to see
Adrian.
your team win though?
Yeah, absolutely, but don't get me wrong, Adrian. I think Tua is a good quarterback,
Me too.
okay?
Yeah.
He's proven that. He's a very good he's a very good quarterback, okay? The
Yeah.
problem is he doesn't have the X factor. He's not gonna carry the team. See, this is a quarterback league, okay? Look at all the quarterbacks. Look who won the Super Bowl. What do they do best? They can go off script. They're
Yeah.
mobile. Look, everybody says, "Well, Jalen Hurts, he's got a great offensive line." Sure, but did you watch the Super Bowl? How many times he had to jump out of that pocket and run and make a play? See,
See,
it's a quarterback
I
league.
want to get your take though on this question from No Doubt. He said,
Sure.
"Does the offense need to change if Tua is replaced with the QB you described?"
No, I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I think what needs to happen is um I it depends. It depends on who they get, right? Like if you get a Ewers or someone like that, I'm not saying he's going to be the starting quarterback or anything, but a guy
Yeah.
that has a quick release like that, quick processing and sees the field and he's able to he's able to make the throws, the outside the numbers, has a somewhat of a stronger arm. No, I don't think you have to change the offense. What they have to do and I think they got him right now is you got an Ollie Gordon, and that was the only
Mhm.
thing that's been lacking in this offense. Right now is the power back. Okay, if you got a good power back there, you can keep the outside zone scheme. You can keep that. You can still run inside zone if you have a power back like Ollie Gordon. Hopefully, that's what they're gonna do this year is more inside zone running.
Do you
But
think this offense though is a quick read offense? Because it's a version
presently,
of the West Coast, right?
yeah,
But
it's the West Coast. It's a
you
version of the
think it
West
would
Coast.
you think it will adapt if you get another quarterback?
100%,
Okay.
100%. I think if Mike McDaniel is still the head coach and you get another quarterback, okay, because we got to deal with what we have now, right? We don't know if they're gonna fire him at mid-season or end of the year. It depends on how the Dolphins
He
do this
go
year.
on if he goes 0 and 4 coming out the gate, he'd probably be gone before midseason.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no doubt. But what I'm saying is if you still have Mike McDaniel, let's say they go 9-8, right? I don't think they're going to go anywhere. I don't think Chris Greer will go anywhere. I don't think McDaniel will go anywhere if they go 9-8. Okay?
Run back.
Yeah, they'll run it back. But let's say they go 9-8 and they say and let's say they don't make the playoffs, right? And they say, "You know what?" And let's say Tua gets hurt. Okay? God forbid. Let's say he gets hurt. Okay? Hopefully not. But let's say he gets hurt. There's no way in hell they're gonna bring Tua back. They just can't. They'll probably eat it. They'll probably eat the monies, right? Whatever it is, and
Yeah,
they'll
the
just
guarantees are for 2 more years,
yeah for two
for
more
this
years,
year and next year. So,
right?
whew, it's a
Yeah.
lot of
Hey,
money.
well, look what Denver did,
Yeah,
right?
true,
Okay,
true.
so and they
Hey,
got Bo
Sammy,
Nix.
Sammy, this was not planned, man. This was not planned. We gotta put Sammy's orange Dolphin shirt in the mail, man. Send it to Puerto Rico.
There you go.
Or we can give it to him in October when he's down here for the Chargers game.
Yep. But I hope that answers the question. No, I don't think they. In fact, I think it'll open up the
Completely,
playbook.
you
I
saying?
think it'll open
Yeah.
up the playbook for McDaniel more.
Yeah, so you saying it wouldn't change it completely, but he's gonna add he can do more things because he has a mobile quarterback. He has someone that could do more. That's what you're
Uh,
saying.
100%. I mean,
Okay.
the West Coast offense has been around forever,
Mhm.
right? So I mean, and look at the different quarterbacks that have run the West Coast offenses,
Yeah.
right? So it's an offense that you can adapt any quarterback to. It's quarterback friendly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he
So
made this, and he made this specific playbook just for Tua, because Tua's
100%,
anticipation, his
100%.
accuracy. So if he could do that for Tua, imagine what he could do with someone else. I agree,
Someone else
but
that has more tools in the toolbox.
yeah, true, very true. How you feel about Anthony Weaver? He's probably gone after this year.
I like Anthony Weaver. Um,
Yeah,
the only thing is that I think the defense is fine. I think that, even with the corners that we have and everything,
that
I
front
think
seven is incredible. The
front seven is
potential is.
incredible. Yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Look, we're going to be playing about 7 or 8 really good quarterbacks this year.
Mhm.
Really good quarterbacks. 7 or 8. Yeah, and playoff teams. So this schedule's not going to be a piece of cake at all. I'm more concerned about the offense than I am about the defense. I think the defense will be able to hold it down. I think Weaver will utilize whom he has, back there as in the defensive backs. Minka Fitzpatrick's going to be he's going to be the captain back there, and I think he's going to get those guys into shape. They're going to be playing a lot of zone, right? That's what I think anyway. A lot of zone, getting pressure to the quarterback. But in order for this team to be successful, um, this upcoming year, am I going too far ahead?
No, no, you're good.
Okay. In order for this team to be successful this year, is we're going to have the injuries are going to have to be minimal. Tua is going to have to stay healthy, okay, because he's the best we got right now.
You're already asking for a lot.
Yeah, you got that's what's got to happen,
Injuries, injuries, and Tua staying healthy. I
and
mean,
Tua
pretty much
staying
in the same
healthy.
boat.
Yep. The running game needs to be decent. Okay, it doesn't have to be number one. It has to be the top 10, top 15. Um, Tyreek Hill and Waller are going to have to be up to their 2023 speed. Okay, and the defense, the beef I have with the defense is they need to start committing turnovers. They need turnovers. They were not very good with turnovers last year. That would mean that would help a lot, okay? If they get more turnovers than they did last year. And hopefully with that front seven that they have now, right? Then they can create those turnovers for those cornerbacks and linebackers to eat, right? Interceptions, fumble recoveries, getting to the quarterback, getting to the pressure to the quarterback and making them make mistakes. That's our only hope right now. If one of those is lacking, it's going to be a long season.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree, and I mean that's like I said, asking for a lot. We're talking about the Dolphins now. What we've seen, just history will tell you something. It's like what they call it. Um, if something, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. So that's usually what happens to the Dolphins. But
Yeah.
we'll get into training camp, man. You got any standout players like in training camp
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead with
Yeah,
your
for
who
sure.
you
For
think
sure.
standing out.
I think, well, in the beginning, as far as veterans go, Willie Gay was all over the place in
Yes,
training camp. Willie Gay was all over the place. Minka Fitzpatrick, those are I'm naming the veterans.
he's
Fitzpatrick
having a great camp.
is having a good camp, but
Fitzpatrick.
that's expected of him, right?
Yeah,
It's expected of these guys. Um, haven't heard much. I know Jalen Phillips had a pretty good joint practice today, so that's good to
yesterday
hear.
too.
Yeah,
Yesterday
yeah.
was really good.
Okay, that's good to hear. So, and so that's good. But yeah, I mean, Ollie Gordon, he was kind of quiet in the beginning, but I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Some guys practice better than others. And
Yeah,
sometimes they play better than what they practice. In the
true.
regular games.
Those two
Uh,
young D tackles.
Yeah, I'm
They
really
played
liking
better
Jordan
in the
Phillips.
games than they have in training camp.
Yeah, yeah, and
So
I'm liking Jordan Phillips, man. I really
yeah,
am. I'm starting to like him more than Kenneth Grant, to be honest with you. I mean, he's the guy that's making the noise right now. He's freaking pushing people to the ground, man. Moving people around. Causing havoc in that on that defense. Um, oh, Jordan Brooks got hurt today. Did you know that?
yes, he went
Yeah,
down at the end
so
of practice.
I don't know
Yeah,
how serious of an injury that is.
said he was
Sheffield.
walking gingerly.
Yeah, so we don't know what that means, right?
Turned his ankle
Yep. So those
and
guys are
warm
broke
ups.
in warm-ups. Yeah.
It's
What
wild.
do you think that is? You think it's a strength and conditioning thing, or do you think it's lack of uh contact in practice, because a lot of times they're just going through the motions and things. They're not really making a lot of contact. It's like in boxing, right? I'm a boxer, right? So in
Yeah,
boxing, you got to spar, man. Sometimes
yeah,
you spar light, sometimes you go 80, 90%. You got to train like you're going to fight, or you got to
mhm.
play football like you're going to play a real game. And this is NFL wide. This has nothing to do with the
No,
Dolphins,
yeah, I
except
agree.
for
Yeah,
except for the Dolphins seem to be taking a little lighter than some of these other NFL teams for some reason.
I think we
I
just
don't
don't
know.
hear about the other teams as much.
Right,
I think
right,
we so
yeah,
locked in with the Dolphins that we don't really hear about it too much. But I think the other teams are going through this as well, man. It's definitely that lack of practice. The NFL done got a little soft. They ain't, there's the day of tackling and training camp every day is over. So I mean, they're not getting enough contact. Like you said, you got to train your body to take that type of physical abuse that you take playing football.
mhm,
So, and they're just not doing it. I mean, I think that's definitely probably 80% of the reason at least. I mean, it could
yep,
be strength and conditioning, but I think it's just a non-contact. Like you got like you said, it's like wrestling too, man. I watch a
yeah,
lot of wrestling and
yeah,
you can't just get in there and go. Like you have to train your body to take those type of bumps. Or
yep,
you just gonna be you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be
yeah.
able to get up if you take the wrong bump. So
Absolutely. 100%, 100%. I remember when I was boxing, I don't do a lot of sparring now. I haven't done it in a while, but when I was sparring, you know, uh, I noticed if I was sparring 2 or 3 times a week, I was good. I go hard maybe
mhm.
once a week or whatever, and then let's say I miss 2 or 3 weeks, then I get back in there and sparring. Oh, man. Mike Tyson says when, you have a plan until you get punched in the face?
Oh yeah.
That's what it's like, man. It's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, man, that hurt," you
Shell
know?
shocked.
Yeah. So it takes a while for your body to get back into conditioning to play a regular football game or box, whatever it is, whatever sport it might be.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you gotta train like you playing the game. That's so I mean,
Absolutely.
true words were never spoke, man. But yeah, man, scrappy practice today. Yesterday was a great practice for the Dolphins. The defense dominated, you know, their own team. And then today they dominated the Jacksonville Jaguars. A couple fights, which I
Yeah.
love to see.
Yeah, me too.
Jack Jones in the middle of it. I love
Yeah.
the addition of him because he is scrappy dude. We
Mhm.
need some of that on this team for
Mhm.
sure.
Mhm.
And yeah, the defense dominated. Mika and Jack Jones had a pick that both would have been pick sixes on Trevor Lawrence, so that was nice. And we had sacks on top of sacks. And Sealer got a sack on the first play of practice. So I mean, that front seven, there you go.
Yeah.
And then the red zone for the offense looked good. They and then people were reporting like once we got to 11 on 11s, the offense was very inconsistent, but red zone they pretty much dominated it. So both offense and defense.
Mhm.
So I mean that's good to hear. And then you got the injuries. So I mean Wright
Yeah.
going down, Sheffield, Jordan Brooks. Jordan Brooks, they're saying don't look too, and then Kenneth Grant was out today. They're saying he's day to
Right.
day.
Right.
We're missing O linemen. We're missing Achan. We're missing Austin Jackson. Like Ashton Davis still hasn't. I don't think he's even what he hasn't played in training camp or preseason game or played at all in training camp really
Uh,
since the beginning.
yeah, since the beginning. I think he was there for a week or something, and he
Yeah,
got hurt.
maybe.
He went down. So yeah, it's crazy, man. It's just I don't know. I don't get it. Um, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. With these injuries. Hopefully they're. Hopefully Achan can get back. I don't want to rush him back, but hopefully he gets back. Because he's gonna be the guy that's gonna be running coming out of the backfield and catching a bunch of passes for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I think our tight ends are pretty weak as far as pass catching tight ends go. Well, unless Waller can come back to his,
Still hasn't had a team practice yet. Did
still has,
individual position drills today though, but
yeah,
not no
yeah,
team practice yet.
yeah. I
So he
mean,
probably
if
won't
he
play Saturday.
probably won't,
Obviously,
yeah, probably won't.
starter Mike McDaniel said starters will play on Saturday.
Well,
I don't
that's
know.
funny.
He should have
That
did that the second game, but
I agree. I agree. That's funny because I look, this is just a conspiracy theory. Okay, this is this conspiracy theory on my part. But it's kind of funny, that all of a sudden now the starters are going to play against a bad team. They did really good in practice, they dominated, they were great. Now all of a sudden the starters are going to play. They got creamed by Chicago, starters didn't play. But what, one
oh,
was it one series or
one
something?
one series, yeah, I
I think
believe
it was like one series. And then they didn't even play this last game
they
against
didn't look
the
good in
Detroit
that one
Lions.
series either. They
Yeah, they
they
didn't.
drove
They
the
didn't.
ball down the field, but
Yeah, they
they didn't
drove the
really
ball
look
down
that
the
good.
field, but they couldn't punch it in. It took them what? The second time around to get it in there? Get it
Yeah,
in
and that
into the, get a TD? But,
well, my thing is like, why not play against Detroit? You know how good Detroit is. Let's put them up to the test. That's a playoff team, NFC championship caliber team. You know what I'm saying? I thought you should have definitely put them in there. And then this game just can be for, the back half of the roster. Who's
yeah.
going to make the team with the cuts coming on Tuesday?
Yeah. Yeah, give them the opportunity, right? Give those guys the opportunity to showcase their skills, even if it's not for the Miami Dolphins. They're showcasing their skills, as you said, for other teams, right?
Hmm.
Give them the opportunity. Let the rooks play. Let the second string play. They need the reps. We know what the first string can do. It
Hmm.
should have been, as you said, it should have been that second game, right? They should have played at least you know 2 or 3 series, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
but going back to uh, the conspiracy theory I was talking about. Well,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I already talked about that, but it's funny because the coach for Jacksonville Jaguars, he said he's not going to play his starters. So now we got our first team against their second or third team. They're scrubs. So
Go
how do
out
you
there and
think
give
we're
give
gonna?
the
How do you
Dolphin
think we're
fans a
gonna look?
show.
Yeah. How do you
It's
think
at
we're gonna
home.
look?
It's at home too.
And it's at
Oh,
home.
that's
It's
funny.
all
Steve, that's funny.
it's just all freaking show, man. It's like the doggone fight today, man. I'm kind of beginning to wonder if that wasn't all hype for the fans at the
Training.
joint, yeah,
Yeah,
at the
at the training
training,
camp.
joint practices. Just a theory, man. Just something to think about.
I mean, it makes sense. To be honest, it makes a lot of sense for sure. Oh, it's gonna be funny
Wow.
if they go out there and just touchdown, 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 then they get
Yeah,
them out.
yeah,
Oh, it's gonna be hilarious. But
yeah.
if the season is 6-11, 7-10, nothing more than a year for the young players to step up and become the new core. Is that such a terrible outcome? At this point, do you, do you really think we're gonna win a Super Bowl this year?
Oh.
So
No, no, no.
s-
Um,
not bad, not bad, no doubt.
yeah. Yeah,
I
I
mean, if it
definitely.
goes to shit, that's what I'm saying. If it goes, if the first half of the season goes bad, then you get these young players, you get them in there, man, and let them get some work,
100%.
getting ready for next year. Because I mean, if we come out and just look terrible, then all right, I'm okay with just mailing it in because I don't feel like we're gonna win anything this year anyway. So
Yeah. Um,
a game at a time. That's how I'm going
ga
this year.
game at a
Game
time,
at a
yeah.
time.
I'm with you, Adrian. I don't have high expectations for the Dolphins this year. They're not gonna bait me in again.
Yeah. So not
Uh,
you're not gonna get me again.
yeah, they're not gonna get me again. But I don't have the high expectations for him. And I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to say, I say 8 and 9 is realistic. Even at this point, 8 and 9 is realistic. Whatever moves we've made thus far, I still say 8 and 9. Um, if everything goes right, like we just were talking about earlier, about minimal injuries, Tua stays healthy,
Yeah.
these
Defense, top 10 defense.
top 10 defense, running game, comes to life. Inside zone, we got a power back, Tyreek and Waddle have a hell of a year like they did in 23. Um, Even then, I still think we're best scenarios 10-7.
Yeah.
Um, and maybe just sliding into the playoffs one and done. That's the way I see it. Now, I wouldn't be surprised at all, like Noel Doubt said, we might even go, 7-10
Yeah.
or 6-11.
A lot of people are on both sides of this. So you got
Yeah,
fans that are thinking it's 10 plus wins, and then you got
right.
some fans that are the 6 and 7 range because they just not confident in the depth or the injury history of a lot of these players that we have on this team this year. And then the
Mhm,
coaching also,
mhm.
the game management, a lot of people are out on that. So I mean, I get it. I
Yeah, for
mean,
sure.
if it
I mean,
does
I hope
happen, then ride out with the young guys.
yeah, I hope they go 17-0. You know what I mean?
There you
I mean,
go.
I'm pulling for my team. Look, when I'm not doing podcasts, when I'm on these podcasts, whether it be, invited to come on a podcast or doing my podcast, my show, Real Talk Fins Talk, I'm
Yeah.
objective, man. I'm gonna lay it on the line. I'm gonna tell you how
Yep.
I see it, how I feel it. When I get off and I'm watching my team play, you better know
You
it.
rooting
I'm
for
jumping
them.
up and down and I'm hooping and hollering for Tua and rooting for him and all the rest
Yes,
of the
sir.
team, you know. But I got to keep it real when I'm on here, because the reason why I started a podcast was for that very reason. Is a lot of these media folks, all they were doing was
Yeah.
hyping, hyping the fans up, telling them, throwing out a bunch of propaganda, you know, and just marketing the team like they were the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I bought into it. I bought into it, and then I
We all
said,
did.
yeah, and then I said to myself, man, wait a minute. They said this, that, and the other, and it's not happening. What's going on here? Am I being lied to? What's going on?
Bamboozled.
There you go. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna start a podcast. I'm gonna actually put this team under a microscope. I'm going to do the research. I'm going to, follow this team. I'm going to follow the O line, the running backs. I'm just going to do all that research and find out what's going on. And that's why I started my show, Real Talk Fence Talk, because I want to give people, I don't want to give them false hope. Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
saying, I don't want to. A lot of people call me negative, and yeah, I might lean
Yeah.
on the negative side, right? But then sometimes I'll bring it back towards the middle. The Dolphins really have to do something really spectacular, really good for me to move me over to that more positive side, And
Yeah.
so far, since I've had the podcast going on 4 years now, everything that I've talked about, everything that I've brought to light, my opinions. Now, some of them were wrong, not all of them are right, but more have been right than wrong thus far.
Yeah.
Okay?
Nobody bats 1,000.
Nobody bats 1,000, but and look, all these other folks that hyping the team up and are more leaning towards the positive side, we need those folks. Okay. We
Yeah, the
need that
optimism.
positivity in this community. We
Mhm.
need that optimism. Okay.
Balanced, balance.
It's a balance. Exactly. We need that. But I'm just not on that side. Not yet.
Yeah. And you ju and a lot of people can disagree with you, what you have to say, but
Sure.
literally you're a fan and you just wanna see the team win. Like,
100%.
that's all people need to realize, man. I think
100%.
they think you're just talking shit and then that you hate the team, or why are you a fan if you hate the team? It's like, no, you don't hate the team, you just wanna see the team do better. I see that about, like, a lot of people that talk negative about the Dolphins, and then you got the optimistic fans, some fans that are like fairy to think they're living in a fairy tale world or something. And it's like they talk shit about the people that are just being real, saying their opinions about the Dolphins. And it's like, no, it goes both ways, man. They just want to see
Absolutely.
the team win. That's it. He said,
Absolutely.
no doubt says he still believes that the 2023 team was special. He buys that the injuries were too much. And the injuries, they were decimated. We already know that. They were
Yeah, for sure.
completely decimated.
For sure.
At the
But
end of the year, it was done, man. It was like everybody was out.
yeah. But here's the thing about that 2023 team. We're never going to have another roster like that again.
Yeah. They blew
Not
their load too early.
Yep.
That's what happened.
Yep.
It was all fun and games in the first, what, 9 weeks. And then
Yeah.
we got to that back half of that schedule and it got rough. That's when we start playing really good teams too. Oh, and then the injuries. Like we had, come on, man. We had started a playoff game with like linebackers that were fresh off the couch. So, I
Yeah, for
mean,
sure. 100%.
definitely.
I'll give him that. I'll give him that. But I still say it's no excuses. And the reason why I say that is because who constructed the team that way?
Yeah. Yep.
Chris Greer.
Players with injury history. He
What do
loved
you
them.
expect? What do you expect? If you're getting players, you're acquiring players that have an injury history, what all of a sudden, they're just gonna be good overnight? I mean, come on. If they have an injury history, right? I don't mean a first
Yeah.
time injury. I mean, guys, look,
Yeah.
Bradley Chubb, he had a history. He had an injury history already. You know,
Yep.
even Jalen Phillips, who we drafted, whom
Yeah.
I love, he had an injury
College.
history before,
Yeah.
you know? Taron Armstead, injury history, Now
Yeah.
we just got James Daniels, Achilles heel injury. That's hard to come off of, especially
Oh
being a
yeah.
lineman. You gotta same with Jalen Phillips. He had Achilles and he's had an ACL.
Yep.
I don't know, he's
Two
good against
ACL. He
he's
had an
good against
ACL in college too, right?
ACL in college. He had concussions. I think he had a neck injury too or something.
Oh yeah.
So
He
he's
almost
had that.
retired in college.
He did. He was definitely, yeah, thinking about retiring. But hopefully, we have better luck because it does take some luck. We have better luck this year, and
Yep.
what I want to see if we don't, like I said, I don't have high expectations. But what I do want to see is I want to see that we're going in the right direction, right?
Yeah.
We're trending up, right? Even if
Mhm.
we go 6-10 or 7-11, not saying we are. I'm just saying if right, big if, right? If that
Definitely.
happens, at least I want to see these rookies making progress, developing, and giving us some type of optimism, that hey, maybe we're going to start to construct this offense or this defense or this organization right this time. You know, that's what I want to
I
see. That's what I'm looking for this year.
I think it kinda started this year just
Hmm.
because we started building through the trenches, and that's
Yeah.
what you literally have to do. That's the first thing that needs to be done with a team is the trenches, and he kinda started that this year.
Hmm.
Granted, only one O-line drafted, but, I mean, those defensive linemen, them D tackles look promising.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, he
Even
goes
bigger.
into next
Yeah.
year big, yeah, Zeke strong boy, big strong boy,
Yes, he
for
is.
real. But yeah, man, I done said this on numerous occasions. Imma just think we're gonna, like, in my head, we're gonna lose every game just so every win I could just feel like we won a playoff game and won a Super Bowl. And that's how Imma look at the season. Game at a time. Oh yeah, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose. So then when we actually win, I'm gonna be good, man. I'm gonna have a great year no matter what.
Absolutely, and
But
that's the way I'm thinking about it, brother. I'm like, yeah, I'm hoping for I'm thinking of the worst, but I'm hoping for the
yeah,
best, you
that's
know?
it. And that's what we do,
So,
man. That is like a word that's synonymous with the Dolphins. Hope. That it's been there for a long time,
it
for
has.
sure.
It really has.
But yeah, you got anything going on? Like anything else going on with the show? Either this week, next week. What you got going on?
Yeah, I'll be out of town. I'm heading down. I'm heading out to Virginia to see my other 2 grandsons and my granddaughter. So I'll be in Virginia for 2 weeks, but I plan on doing a show on my normal time on Tuesdays at
Okay.
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Finns Talk Sports Network. So I do plan on doing shows unless something comes up and I'm not able to or something. But I do plan on doing shows while I'm out.
Oh, nice. All right. That's what's up, man. Yeah, man. I think I'm gonna do a live stream with Bobby for the game on Saturday with Bobby from the dive bar, not
Oh,
Bobby
cool.
Finn's talk.
Right, right.
Yeah, I think we're doing that. That should be fun. That should be fun, especially with the starters playing. Should be
Oh
a
yeah, yeah.
should be a good time. And
Should
then
be. Those guys are
I
great
got
over
my
there too.
oh man, phenomenal people, man. I had them on the show, all of them except for Joe Robbie,
Yeah, I saw that.
and
Yeah.
good dudes, man. Good
Yes, they are.
dudes for sure.
Yep. Yep.
For sure. Bobby is incredible. Bobby's incredible. All the Bobbies.
There you go.
Bobby Finstock, man. I love that dude, man. He is hard, one of the hardest workers like in the podcast game
Yeah,
completely, man. This
yeah,
dude
yeah.
nonstop.
I call him he's a chief cook and bottle washer.
There you go. I like that.
He does it all, man.
Definitely. Oh man, great dude too, man. Phenomenal
Yeah,
people.
for
Shout
sure.
out Finn Sammy. Shout out No Doubt in the chat.
Yep.
Cap for life in the chat, man.
Cap
Great time.
report.
Great time.
Cap report.
I'm telling you, I love Cap, man. Cap's the best. For sure, man. And yeah, man, we'll get out of here, man. You got any you said 8 or 9. You think we beat Indy with Daniel Jones though, week 1?
Man, yeah, I mean, we should, right? I mean, we
Yeah.
should, that should be a game we win. Uh, but, yeah, realistically, I think 8 and 9 is fair. And as I said,
It is.
their ceiling this year for me is 10 and 7. And if they really bottom out, I mean, probably 6 and 11 or 7 and 10 is. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but I think they should be able to with the personnel they have, and if Tua can stay healthy, if he can stay
Yeah.
healthy,
Say that
keyword
every year.
if.
We say
Um,
that every year. Yeah,
yeah,
I got
yeah,
you.
I think we can win 10 games for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. But I'm gonna say we're gonna win 0 because I want to be happy this year. All right.
Don't worry, be
Hey,
happy.
yeah, that's it. That's it. I appreciate you coming on, man, for real.
Oh man,
This
it's a
was
pleasure.
great. Yeah, man. And maybe we could do it sometime in the season for sure.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, for
All
sure,
right.
man. I'd love to do it. I appreciate you having me on.
Of course, man. It was a good time. And keep doing your thing, bro. Don't worry. I know you're not worried about them, but don't be worried about them haters, man. But wait, let's get this last chat out. Indy's going to be interesting. They're honoring the deceased former owner. That's right, Jim Irsay, man.
Yep.
R.I.P. Jim was a great dude, man. But yeah, they'll be playing for something. But we're playing for something too. So
Yeah.
I mean, we better be.
This game will set the tone, I think, for the rest of the year.
Exactly. Yeah, I think so too. I always said I want to see. Everybody was like, "Oh, what game are you looking at the most?" I'm like, "Week 1. Let's go. Let's see how they're gonna come out. How they're gonna, like you said, set the tone for the season
Yep.
for sure." Back it up, binge podcast, man. What's up, brother? I'm getting out of here, man. But
Maybe.
yeah, thank you, Steve. Um,
Absolutely.
I look forward to doing this again and take it easy, brother. Have fun in Virginia too. I'll
Oh,
be in
thank you,
Philly
man.
next week, so
Oh, nice.
it's gonna be a fun time. Yeah,
Good stuff.
anniversary. Good
Oh,
times.
wow. Nice. Good.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
yeah, man. But all right, everybody, please, if you like it, if you're watching on X, go over to YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe to Rainy Day Pod. Go over to FTSN. Subscribe. Catch Steve on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Or no, yeah, Eastern time, right?
Yeah, 7 PM Eastern Standard Time. For me,
Eastern.
it's 6 PM Eastern Standard Time. I
Yeah,
mean,
true.
Central
That's
Standard
why
Time.
I asked.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, man. And in the great words of Jackie Moon, everybody love everybody, man. Fins up, baby. Goodbye.